Hope everyone's ready. Because it's 7 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Visual Thursdays with Anime Fan RK2K here. We're doing more Katawa Shoujo, a game that has been a lot of fun so far, and I've been enjoying it. Well, let me close that out real quick. Alright, there you go. I'm fully ready. I'm ready to tackle this. Last time we left off, we've been doing our things. We're gonna continue to do our things. So, boom. Shady encounter. Alright, well, no, last time, okay, we've been getting closer and closer to Hanako, and Hisao has been questioning his role in all of this. So we'll see where it goes from here. The summertime sun is something to be savored, but when combined with the clean country air, it's all the better. Track and field club members are horsing around in the field ahead. Some are playing with a soccer ball, others are talking, and a few laugh as two of them mock fight with each other. None of them pay me any heed as I sit alone on the grass, underneath the shade of a particularly large tree. It's a nice and peaceful moment after a dreary day of schoolwork. I played soccer pretty often before my heart attack, so I thought it would be really nostalgic to watch them. What I'm feeling now, though, is quite distant from that emotion. I hear footsteps approaching from behind me. I turn to my side to see one of the classmates taking a seat beside me. I'm taken off guard, as the two of us haven't really talked much before. I didn't think anyone would notice me here. Yep, how's it going? I don't know who she is. Sup? Hi. Miro, wasn't it?
Just call me Miki. Surnames are too stuffy.
Likewise then. Both look back out to the field where the guys are playing. Looks like they're getting ready to have a second game, with people spreading out to their positions and the ball being carried to the center of the field. Sure enough, the whistle is blown to begin the match and they get right back into it. Not going to play?
Nah, just gonna rest for a bit.
You're a Bowser main? Oh, that's fair.
What about you? Kinda looked like you wanted to play when you were watching us before.
So, someone did notice me after all. It's kind of a long story. Her face says that I picked her interest. I'm in Yamaku because I got a heart condition. Can't really play soccer anymore.
Wanted to be a soccer player, did you?
Good endings only, Luca. Good endings. And welcome. No, I only really did it for fun. My friends played it, so I played it as well. Any of those guys playing around could have been me before my accident. I don't feel like I have any real wish to go back to that either. It's a little hard to explain. I'm still decently physically built from the days when I played, even if my strengths largely left me by now, and I got on well with the other club members. Is a million GSP high? I'm not sure, King. When I think about it, I should feel pretty bad watching people play when I can't anymore, yet I don't. Maybe it's a good thing, sign that I've gotten over it, and that I'm ready to become a new person. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
It's cool. I'm actually glad to hear that. It sounds like you really have your stuff together. Some of the people that come to Yamaku are pretty messed up at first.
So you're a member of the track and field club then?
Yep. Been in it since I first arrived.
Don't suppose you're friends with Emmy? Short, fast runner, no legs? I don't think there are all that many female track and field members.
Haha, Emmy. Everyone knows about her, don't they? But nah, I tend to get on better with guys, so me and Emmy don't really talk much. Anyway, what about you?
Oh well, I'm not really in any clubs. Real clubs anyway. Yeah, how's it going, Shade? Welcome back. Is that what it means? Better than a million people who play Bowser?
You've been hanging around with Hanako and that blonde Amazon though, right?
Blonde Amazon? Blonde Amazon. I suppose Lily has the height to fit that description. If nothing else, I nod in response without making too fine a point of things.
Then don't worry about it. As long as you've got some friends, you don't need to join a club.
A loud whistling from the field attracts our attention. One of the players is on the ground clutching his leg, and the others stop play to jog up to him, leaving Miki grimacing.
Ouch. That looks painful. That guy really has bad luck.
As she continues to look out onto the field, I can't help being reminded of her own injuries. Her left arm, ending in a stump rather than a hand, has been bandaged up for the entire time I've been in Yamaku, and her injury doesn't seem that new. Oh, I didn't even notice that. She turns to talk to me again and catches me looking. Both of us sit in awkward silence as she takes her bandaged arm and holds it in her lap with her other remaining hand. So sorry, I guess I'm still a bit...
It's fine, really.
So I guess I shouldn't be playing this GSP thing because I feel bad. Tone is light, but neither of us say anything afterwards. Every disabled student here has their own way of dealing with their problems. Some finding their conditions troublesome is only natural. I'm included among them, after all. The reason why Shade would really play Link online? Yeah, I mean, I did pretty well with Link in World of Light, at least. The injured guy from the soccer game managed to get onto his feet with some help. Ends up hobbling off the field with one arm over the shoulder of another for support. Probably just pulled a muscle if he can still manage to walk. The whistle blows again, and the game continues once more with one less man on the field.
Hanging out with Hanako and that blonde girl keeps some pretty strange company.
How so?
It's just that Hanako's kind of... I don't know.
Shy?
No, it's not really that. It's just, she's got some issues, I think. I can't really put it in a nice way. Not that I don't think she's a nice person, though. She's perfectly nice. Just hard to deal with.
Sounds like Miki, or at least some other people in the class, have tried to get closer to Hanako in the past, and that it didn't go well. I think her judgment is rather harsh, given that everyone, not just those in Yamaku, have their own issues. Then again, I haven't known Hanako for that long, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some stuff I didn't know about. I'll just take it as it comes. She's a nice person. I think that should be all that matters. Miki's eyes narrow a little and her smile spreads.
You really like her, don't you?
Miki certainly doesn't mince words. Deny it! Admit it! Oh, there's no Tom. Oh, man. Well. In that case, I have to save and, like, pretend I actually know what I'm doing. Shady encounter. Is this shady because we're in the shade of a tree? I think that's why. Yes. Continue. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to say I admit it. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to admit it, so I'm gonna admit it. To be completely honest, yeah, I do. Appreciate if you didn't tell anyone.
Hey, whoa, you can trust me. No problems there.
The Unimog?
To be honest, I think it's kind of cute. If you want to go for it, don't let me stop you.
Thanks. She may say that, but she was just talking about Hanako having issues. Still, I want to hold myself to the words I said. Hanako's problems don't matter. I'll deal with anything that comes up because I want to help her. There's even the smallest possibility that I can pull Hanako out of her depression and seclusion. Then I should work towards that, no matter what. If she needs a prince, then I will be that prince. As I think about the possibility of a relationship, I see Miki grinning at me while watching my face. I'm no doubt blushing, and looking away from her only makes her laugh. Miki gives off a different vibe from the other girls. Talking to her feels more like talking to a guy than a woman. Her saying she prefers male company doesn't help to dispel that notion either. Glancing at my watch shows that lunch break is ending in only a few minutes. Time to start heading back to class. Lunch is about to end. Want to head back?
Yeah, we better.
Pick myself up off the grass and dust myself off, offering a hand to Miki to help her up as well. She takes it and easily pulls herself up, showing the muscles moving her toned bare arms in the process. Come to think of it, why aren't you wearing the normal girl's blouse?
It's too hot and constricting. The boys' uniform is better anyways.
She throws her arms around a bit to emphasize her point, which has the side effects of showing off one particular part of her body that would be especially constricted by the blouse. Her boobs! Twitch didn't notify you, Tom? Well, I just admitted I liked Hanako, so I'm hoping I'm going the right route. can't stand heavy characters. Heavy characters funny too. I like playing random though, so. The two of us start the walk back to the main building through the gardens, talking as we go.
Sounds like you're settling in well. That's a relief. It was pretty surprising to get a transfer student at this point in the year, considering the exams are coming up.
Don't remind me.
Don't worry about them. Just cram it and you'll be fine.
That doesn't sound like good advice. She claps my shoulder a couple of times as she grins. I don't think she takes school very seriously. I mean, it's hard to take school seriously when you're like high school and stuff. Like, a lot of people are like, you just go with the flow, man. Just gotta do what you have to do.
You seem like a smart guy. And Muto's taken to you well already. You're like a hand in a glove.
Not to work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Still don't know what to make of this school. Been here a few weeks already, but I still feel dazed at times.
You'll get used to it. Just give it some time. It's only a high school, just like any other.
She makes it sound so simple. I've never thought about it that way. To me, Yamako symbolized a marked shift in my life. I was no longer normal. I was different. I wanted to be educated with other different people. And yet, I'm walking back to class and talking casually with a classmate during lunch. After watching some others play a soccer game. All perfectly normal. Maybe she has a point. No, clearly we're all just gonna become Waluigi means. Maybe I should just look at Hanako in the same way. Everyone has their own issues. This is hardly something unique to Yamaku. After all, it's only a high school, just like any other. As we continue to talk, I find myself smiling. Miki and I are very different people in almost every way. It feels good to have gotten to know another classmate a bit better. Crom? Crom's fun. Crom's actually in Smash. Katawa Shoujo. Bum 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 bum. A light breeze blows the scent of early summer around my head while I wait for Lily. Small white clouds litter the sky, breaking up the monotony of the blue.
Hisao, are you here?
Lily's voice lilts on the breeze as if they were one and the same being. I stop gazing into the sky to examine Lily. The peach off-the-shoulder sweater and tan ankle-length skirt, in addition to tan sandals, she's quite a nice sight. Even though her sight's not that nice. What? Yeah, I'm over here, Lily, near the gate. Were you able to sneak away from Hanako?
Yes. It's not uncommon for me to go out during weekends, so I don't think she noticed anything suspicious. That, and she has someone she sees.
Lily purses her lips as if she maybe shouldn't have continued. I find it a little hard to believe. Hanako's seeing someone? Really?
No, it's just, she sees a therapist every so often on weekends.
Oh well. That does make a lot of sense. Lily rubs her arm uncomfortably, and after one look at her troubled expression, I quickly move to change the topic away from Hanako. Huh.
Yes.
I was just wondering, you can get around the city on your own? Lily sighs at my consternation surrounding the topic of her blindness. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes.
I can, yes. It's easier when I'm out with a friend or my sister, though.
I wonder how Lily gets along with her sister. Being an only child, it's hard to imagine what a sibling would be like. So it makes me a little envious of her. Siblings are great. My little sis, she's awesome. She kicks people's butts when she wants to. Right. Well then, the bus arrives in a few minutes, so we should probably get a move on.
Indeed. It's a long wait if we miss this one.
With that, we set off for the bus stop on the hill. It's only a small distance from the school gate, so it's very convenient. I already redeemed my Piranha Plant download code. It's a nice view from here. Coming from the city, I never really got to see scenery like this, let alone on a daily basis. This area is nice for me as well. It's tranquil and away from the noises and smells of the city. Lily's head perks up in a trademark gesture of hers, signifying that she's caught a sound. Oh, here comes the bus. Look down the road to see the bus trundling up the hill. Jeez, I can't read. Her hearing's quite a useful tool. The bus only takes a short while to reach the bus stop, forcing its way up the road, and within a minute we are on our way to the city. Woo! Rolling around at the speed of city. Walking around the city, I feel a distinct nostalgia. The smells, the traffic, the tall buildings everywhere. It's a lot like my native city, save for the raised walkways. Feels a little weird walking around the city as casually as it would in a park, with cars rushing around underneath me. As I'm busily pondering the engineering marvel that is the raised walkway, I get a surprise. It takes a moment for me to realize that Lily has wrapped her arm around mine, extending her cane in front of her with her other hand. For a moment I'm startled, but I manage to keep enough of a lid on it for Lily not to notice. While it's not the first time that Lily's relied on me for guidance, she only held onto my sleeve cuff before. Yo, could you imagine if like a fake character made it to Smash? I would prefer like someone non-traditional like Medusa, but yeah, it would have to probably be a Saberface. Maybe Emiya. It's logical that it would be easier for her to navigate a crowded and complex area such as a city while securely linked, but I'm far from being as used to this kind of contact as Lily is. Finally, realizing the growing silence between us as Lily waits for me to get moving, quickly kick my brain into gear. No shade. You know, it's quite a surprise that Hanako likes to sing. Have you ever heard her do that before? I have indeed. We've been to karaoke sessions several times, along with my sister. I can't say I take to the activity much, but the other two like it. Maybe Hanako does karaoke and is more fitting than I initially thought. It's her and those she knows, all alone in a little room. We'll give her a rare chance to let her guard down. Nobody else there to judge her. Yo, Padoru Final Smash, best Smash. Maybe it would be nice to bring her into town for a karaoke birthday party. She likes doing it. I'm not sure she will deal well with the excitement. I move to protest, but her face shows that she's mulling the proposal over some more. It takes quite some time for her to come to a conclusion. Then again, the best thing we can do for Hanako at this point is try to create some pleasant birthday memories. Continually treating her as if she's abnormal won't help. It's a Hashire? Hashire. Anyway. I think you're right. She has something to remember apart from loss, and maybe she'll come around. We brought her something nice that she could see every day, and maybe she'll be able to take her mind off her past and remember that she has friends. Told you fucking date. No dating! In any case, I think Hanako can handle something like this. The time I've spent beside her, I've learned that she isn't quite as frightfully fragile as I first thought she was. So, shall we be off? I'm not really sure about the layout of this area. Very well. I might like to suggest having something to eat first. I haven't either, so that sounds like a good plan. Make sure you choose a nice place, Isao. Join you guys in this one. Yo, I could do one better. There you go. I can just make a command, a chat command for it. Perfection. No on stream. She gives a teasing smile, one that makes me smile reflexively in response, even if she can't see that. I make very sure I do. Don't worry about that. Wait, did I miss a line? I feel like I did. Okay, make sure I choose a nice place. Okay. You need a live performance? Come on, guys. I'm trying to get to the Hanako round. You want a live performance of Hashire Sori yo Kaze no Yoni Tsukimi Hara wo Padoru Padoru. Sorry, but the meme must live. Oh god, that hurt my throat. I shouldn't do that. I'm feeling kind of under the weather. Do a Hakai you? It's okay, you could write my name in a death note. I don't die. Once inside, I order 2 slices of pie and accompanying cups of tea and take them back to our table. I peg this cafe as a type to appeal to Lily, small and quiet, well kept and somewhat upscale. Going by the dainty smile she wears, I don't really know if I chose right. It's very, very rare to not see her smiling after all. Since November? Yo, at least I waited until December because Thanksgiving, very important day for me. Nevertheless, I take a seat near her at one of the corner tables and lay down our small meals. Lily gingerly brings her head over the slice of pie placed in front of her, delicately taking in the aroma. Lemon pie, is it? Thank you, Hisao. No problem. The tea's just next to it, so be careful not to knock it over. She nods appreciatively, but judging from the slightly weak smile she has, the warning wasn't really necessary. Suppose the sound must have tipped her off to its position. We both tuck into our food without further ado, both of us remaining largely silent as we do so. Lily isn't the type to appreciate discussion while eating, and I can't say I like it either. Eventually we finish both of our meals, and the last of our teacups follows in short order. Lily is the first to break the silence. That was very nice, I must say. You've chosen quite well, Hisao. This is the first time I've really had much of a look around the city, so all I could really do is choose somewhere that looked nice. Damn, sorry. Damn! I feel really bad for inadvertently bringing up the subject of sight around Lily. She doesn't appear to mind much. Quite the opposite. She almost looks amused at my awkward attempt at an apology. You are thoughtful, Hisao, but sometimes I fear that it gets the better of you. There's no need to change your speech on my account. Lily truly is pretty comfortable in dealing with her condition. I still hasten to change the subject, as I can't really say that I share her confidence in the matter. Have you lived here very long? Seems like you have this place pretty much sorted out. She quickly waves her hand in front of her face to dismiss the notion. It's nothing like that. I've attended Yamaku since the start of high school. But I didn't walk around the city very much because Akira, my sister, picked me up and dropped me off. Alright, you mentioned not living in the dormitories until recently. I mean, if Padoru is how you guys are getting woke, I'm not sure what that means. Okay? It's quite a surprise. I just assumed she'd be living here since entering Yamaku at the least, which would give her a few years here. I've lived with my family for most of my life. Then I was just together with my sister. With my family having moved to Inverness long before, and Akira working longer hours, I ended up having to move. Inverness? Inverness? Isn't that somewhere in Scotland? Oh, did I not tell you? My family currently lives in Scotland, the birthplace of my mother. My father's side is mainly Japanese, though. My dad is not in the game of Smash, guys. Huh. The question of what gave Lily her looks did cross my mind every now and again, but I never thought to ask. That answer to that, then. To be honest, I never have guessed, considering you have no accent. Guessing you were born here?
Full marks. I am thankful for my heritage, though, as without it I likely have not been taught English so early in my life. And what of you, Hisao?
What about me? She gives a moment's thought. She probably should have thought of what to ask me before switching the topic.
I'll go with, what are your plans for the future?
To be honest, I haven't thought much about that recently. For my accident and subsequent months in the hospital, enjoying my life here with you and Hanako has been enough for me. In fact, I don't think I thought at all about a future for some time now. It seems almost futile.
This is your last year of school. After this, you'll have to fend for yourself one way or another.
It's not like I don't know that. I just haven't put much thought into it since then. She opens her mouth to continue, but gives a small sigh instead. She seems to have realized that she really doesn't know enough about my situation to go too deeply into this.
Well, we all have our own pace. I just hope you'll take any chance you see.
I understand. I'll think about it. As we walk back out into the city, Lily takes hold of my arm once again.
So, did you get any good ideas for a present?
To be honest, no. I've never been very good at picking them.
As absurd as it sounds, perhaps we should just look around.
Hearing literally utter those words throws me for a moment. Right, how do we do that? Please don't run over kids.
That's just the reaction I was expecting. It's simple. You can go window shopping and just tell me what it is around. If something interesting comes up, then we might get an idea.
Right. Still not so sure of this, but I'll take your word for it.
I think we'll manage. Hanako, my sister, and I managed to do it well enough.
With Lily's simplistic and rather optimistic statement, we set off into the shopping district of the city and start describing everything I see to Lily. So, we're not in the shopping district. We're next to this office building-like thing. I think I went the wrong way. Sorry, Lily. Like, look at this. Like, they look like they were in a bustling area, and then now they're here. Really? It's hard to think of Hanako going window shopping. She doesn't feel like the type to place much stock in fashion, nor have I noticed her reading magazines or the like. In fact, all I think I've really seen her do as a hobby is read books. There's a housewares shop just ahead. Looks like it's mostly crockery, though.
I can't think that she'd have much need for that. And what type of message would that send to her?
Cook more food? That's not such a bad idea, maybe.
Sometimes, it's best to leave these things alone, Hisao.
Once again, I get the feeling that Hanako's exploits in the kitchen aren't always successful. Lily must have had to help her with that sometimes. Wait, I'm Ui-chan? I thought I would be Yui.
Ui! One-chan!
Anyway. Let's see. Next along is a bookshop. That seems like a good one. She's always reading.
Yes, but there are a few problems with books. I'm not quite sure what she has and hasn't read.
What about a gift card then?
There's nothing as impersonal as giving someone a gift card. It's like saying, I don't know enough about you to work out what you like.
I always thought of it as making sure they got what they wanted.
Giving people gifts is supposed to show them the level of affection you have for them. If you can't decide on a simple gift for them, then how much could you think of them?
Right. No gift cards. Although, to be fair, when it comes to, like, homeliness, I'm probably a Ui at heart. No, anime is anime! No, this is Patrick! Wait, what? Lily seems overly passionate about this, but I can see her point. If you're going to get something for someone, then you should put at least some thought into it. Dude, that's what I do. I see something and go, I think this person will like this, and I buy it, and then you do. I'm like, yeah. Would my stand be Ocarine? No, Ocarine is the strongest stand user. My stand would probably be you hoping I'd make that joke? Yo, I'm here to serve, man. That's all. I don't know. I think my stand would probably be like think of a really obnoxious, annoying anime character that I like. I don't know. Maybe that's too open-ended. Maybe there's too many. Lily seems overly passionate about this, but okay, yeah, I just read this. Yeah. You know, that's actually a good point. Lily's making a lot of good points on like what to get and not get for your friends as gifts. It's actually very interesting. You know, because I always like. I'm not gonna lie. I think she does have a very good point because I 100% buy gift cards for people because I'm lazy. And it's a lot easier for me to have them think about what they want than it is for me to think about what I want to get them. You know, putting it that way, I feel bad because I get my little sis a gift card for Christmas. Anyway, if I want to get something for Hanako that reminds her of us every day, then what good is a gift card? In that case, what did you get Hanako last year? A porcelain doll. I thought that she had someone to talk to. It might help her ease her pain. A doll isn't ever going to criticize her after all. So should I be looking for a doll shop? If you could keep so kind to keep a lookout for one, I would be grateful. Sounds good to me, though I wish you'd mentioned it earlier. But if I did that, then you wouldn't have started thinking for yourself, would you? Once again, Lily has a point. My brain is currently analyzing every store we pass for gift options. If Lily had mentioned a doll shop to begin with, I wouldn't have thought of anything else. Tom, that is hilarious and horrifying. We wander through the city streets, but seem unable to find anything that resembles a doll shop, or anything that I could consider a fitting present. The simple act of searching is starting to clear my head. The events of last week are starting to fade away. I'm looking forward to giving Hanako her gift. If I can find one, that is. Actually, you know what my stand would be? It would be Randomizer. Because I've been playing Randomizer recently. It just randomized everyone's powers. It's like, good luck. This is hopeless. I thought we'd be able to find something in the city for sure. I'm sure we've walked down this street at least once before. That almost sounds like you're giving up, Hisao. I'm not. But it's a lot harder than I thought. Try not to be so restricted in your thinking. Maybe we should actually go into some shops and have a look around. That might work. Never really been any good at window shopping. White snake, basically, yeah. Lily and I circle around the city streets once more, this time popping into stores that catch our attention. In the end, though, nothing comes up as especially appropriate. Hanako's tastes are often quite hard to pin down at the best of times, thanks to her intensely private nature. Those tastes we do know are hard to accommodate. May we take a break for a minute? I'm a bit exhausted. I agree and leave Lily to rest against the railing while I go get a couple of drinks from a nearby vending machine. After walking up to the vending machine and grabbing myself some lemonade, I find myself at a bit of a loss. Not really knowing Lily's tastes, I decided to take a guess and grab something that seemed a little girly, but not too weird. Strawberry flavored milk. Back. Walk up to her and place the carton into her outstretched hands. Make sure she has a grip on it before letting go. She feels out its contours before opening it. Take a very tentative sip. Her approving smile afterwards telling me I made the right choice. Both rest and have a quiet drink for a few minutes. Alright, drink time. Ah, that's some good lemonade. Except I'm drinking Coke Zero, so yeah. Familiar soft ringing begins to sound from Lily's side. She quickly apologizes as her hand goes into her pocket, pulling out her mobile phone. Probably Notorious B.I.G. Do you mind if I take this? It's fine, don't worry. She nods to me and thanks before turning away, flipping the phone open, bringing it to the side of her face as she picks up the call. Going by the tone of Lily's voice, the person on the other end is no doubt some friend or another. I tune out of their conversation pretty quickly as the snippets that Lily says makes it sound like little more than gossip. Oh, the blind... who was that, Stan? I don't remember. Without much else to do, I find myself watching Lily. She really is a pretty girl, which would hardly hurt her popularity in school. It's interesting just how much Hanako and Lily contrast with each other, both personality and appearance. For a few minutes, I just lean back and drink, watching her. For a long, Lily says her goodbyes to the person she's talking to and hangs up, placing her phone back in her pocket and leaning back against the railing as before. Sorry, just a friend from class. Take one final swig from my can before throwing it into the bin. Lily gives me her carton to throw away soon after, finishing it off relatively quickly. You seem to have a lot of friends. What? Lily waits for me to continue, her interest piqued. I was just thinking that you and Hanako contrast really heavily. It's hard to imagine Hanako doing a lot of the things you do, or knowing the people you know. You seem to think about Hanako quite a bit. I don't know, it's just, she's mysterious, I guess. Kinda want to know more about her, which isn't that easy. It almost sounds like you're doubting your relationship to her. I don't think it's that. I just want to do more for her, being her friend and all. I don't even really know how she sees me. The statement seems to interest Lily quite a bit. She's like, oh. I wonder if Hanako said anything about me to Lily during their conversations. I'm about to ask what's on her mind as she picks herself up from the railing. Shall we be off then? Her voice and expression show that she's playing games with me. Lily knows damn well that she's leaving me hanging. With a sigh, I pick myself up off the railing as well. Having a brief look around, we have stuff to do. So I'll just try and get back to her about this later. Tucked in between a newsstand and a convenience store is a small shop. Sign above the door reads, Othello's Antiques, in decorative English script. Is that gonna be that easy? Come on. It would be easy to miss if we were walking along the street, but since we're stationary, I'm purposely looking around. It's just noticeable. Say, Lily, that doll you got, Hanako, was it new? Well, yes, but I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. I think I found our shop. It's across the road. Oh? What is it? Some kind of toy shop? It's an antique shop. I think it's probably going to be our best bet. Really? I didn't know we even had one of those near here. Neither did I. I missed it the first time we went by here. It's pretty well hidden. Well then, it can't hurt to check. Inspired by this new find, we quickly dust ourselves off and head towards the store, Lily's hand finding its way to my elbow for guidance. No, Misha would have something similar to Star Platinum. Instead of saying Aurora, she'd just laugh. She'd be like a lot of kind of, you know. Come on, Spice Girl's too easy. Too easy, Tom. The store has a strange musky scent to it. The layout is more like a garage than a store. Things are strewn around the floor without any immediate semblance of order. The shopkeeper gives us an almost bored look through his particularly small eyes. His face looks weary and tired, and his dress style is distinctively anachronistic. He gives us a polite nod of welcome before going back to his book. Lily holds tightly onto my arm, and I find myself having to split my efforts between making sure we don't miss a potential gift for Hanako, make sure Lily doesn't inadvertently bump into anything. Sheer heart attack is really funny, Tom, though. The task is quite difficult given the haphazard way the store is laid out. The many things poking out of the shelves are on or sitting on pieces of furniture. Eventually, we safely arrive at an old desk covered in dolls and teddy bears. I think this is the right place. There's pretty much every kind of doll you can imagine here. Kenji has Zawaldo.
That should make the choice much simpler. Could you please pick one up for me, Hisao?
I had a feeling that would come to this. I picture Hanako in my mind, trying to imagine which of the dolls before me would suit her the best. My eyes wander across the collection. Each one is as exquisite as the one before it. The sheer number of styles is boggling, but eventually one catches my eye. Here, what about this one? Picked up a small porcelain doll that looks to be at least somewhat affordable. Dressed in a Victorian-era green dress with a little brown hat sitting atop its blonde hair. Looks a little like Lily. Gently pass it to her, who delicately feels her way around the object while wearing a look of slight concentration.
It certainly feels beautiful. Do you think it would suit Hanako in your opinion?
I think it would. It could look good in her room.
In that case, I'll trust your judgment. We'll be getting her something as well, or shall this be a shared gift?
Kenji has Killer Queen. Actually, yeah, Kenji would probably be like Kira or something. I'm not sure. I think I should get her something myself, but I don't think getting her another doll is such a great idea. Maybe. I let my voice trail off as I look around the shop. Resting on a writing table not far from us is a decorative box that catches my eye. Wait, here, I think I found something.
My, that was fast.
I gingerly walk through a collection of crystal glassware and pick up the box. The wooden sides are covered in carvings depicting ancient battles around the castle. The top, however, looks far too familiar. Alternating squares of white and black varnished wood are arranged on the lid.
That's a real nice item. It's a chess set from overseas.
The store owner's sudden appearance startles me a little. I didn't see him approaching at all. Suppose he's trying to help us because we don't really look like we know what we're looking for. Or on the other hand, maybe he wants to keep an eye on us because he suspects we might shoplift instead. I'm looking for a present for a friend.
I see. In that case, this chess set would make a fine choice.
Realization floods into my mind. It's a pretty good looking set. It's an antique shop. They're not well known for their bargain prices. How old is this?
This is a reproduction. Best estimate is that it's about 5 years old.
I see. How much? Hangman. Actually, son. Actually, it could be. You know what? Give her in 2. Let her have 2 stands. He thinks a little before telling me, which is slightly disconcerting.
I'll let you take this now for 7,000 yen.
I balk a little. Wasn't expecting to spend that much, but this does seem perfect. Then again, maybe that's a testament to how well he worked out how much he could make me pay. Could you make it 5,000?
5,500, no lower.
I'm sold. Oh, we also like to get that doll. Sora looks over my shoulder, focusing on Lily and the doll in her hands. His eyes narrow and he visibly takes a moment to switch mental gears. In the process, his smile drops slightly. Guess that means that's not everything in his store. That not everything in his store is a reproduction.
Are you quite sure that you want that doll, miss? I trust my friend's judgment. I see. Oh, no offense. None taken. If you could please wrap it up for me, it would be appreciated. Yes, of course. But it is 20,000 yen.
Lily reaches into her purse and presents 4 crisp-looking 5,000 yen notes.
Here you are. 20,000 yen.
The storekeeper dutifully takes them and the doll and proceeds to the counter. Take Lily's arm to guide her there. Are you sure about this?
It's okay. I have the funds I need. As I said, I trust your judgment.
I feel a little guilty on two fronts. Firstly, because Lily has just spent a lot of money on my recommendation, and secondly, because I have a feeling the value of my gift isn't high enough. Machina. Machina would be young Joseph. Full of confidence. Yuko would have Heaven's Door. Yeah. Nevertheless, Lily does seem to get somewhat awkward whenever the mention of money comes around. I hand the shopkeeper my present and the money for it in turn. Puts the cash into the register before busying himself with wrapping the doll and repeating the process on the chessboard. Eventually, he finishes the gift wrapping and hands us both our presents. Please be careful on your way back. And do come again. Thanks.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
The store owner bows deeply to us as we leave.
Well, it did take us all day. We found something in the end.
That we did. Now that the presents are wrapped, I'm feeling a little impatient to give them to Hanako. It's a common reaction to buying gifts, wanting to see the reaction of the receiver as they discover what it is. And part of me wants to return to Hanako just to confirm her condition with my own eyes. So, should we head back?
Let's. We've done a lot of walking today, so I shan't mind taking a rest back at the dormitories.
Lily's right. Not that the need to find a shop is over. My legs are feeling quite tired. Well then, back to the school for us. I'm looking forward to resting for a bit too. Lily holds out her arm and I link mine with hers. Together we make our way back to the bus stop. We go skip. Da, 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 da. No, we didn't skip, guys.
Ba-da-ba, do-do-do-do-do-do. Katawa Shoujo.
Muto reads equations and formulas to us one by one, in his usual unenthusiastic monotone directly from the book. We see here. It's possible that he might be excited about what he teaches us. Sometimes he can display an awkward spark of passion for it, as if he's starting to get into the material. Most days, however, are like this one. What we're covering is fairly simple, so I find it increasingly difficult to keep my concentration on him. It's not too long until my legs begin aching again, which only makes it even harder. Chocolate with Zawardo. Jeez, we're getting stands to like everybody. Oh my god, visual novels would be crazy with stands. I'm almost starting to regret walking around the city yesterday with Lily. Since leaving the hospital, I've done very little physical exertion. Walking to and fro the local corner store hardly counts. Despite Emi's attempts when I first arrived at Yamaku, I've largely given up on the idea of ever returning to my old level of fitness. I have little doubt that's why walking around town for so many hours has made me quite so sore. It's depressing. It reminds me of one more thing I can't do since I had my heart attack. Makes me feel pathetic. Now, Ikezawa. It's odd for Muto to ask Hanako a question, but not unheard of. She quickly jumps to her feet, a little startled, and immediately pins her eyes onto him. She knows that Muto calling on her is rare, so all eyes in the classroom are going to be on her. This way, she doesn't run the risk of making eye contact with anyone else.
Yes.
In this particular example of a redox reaction, the combustion of methane reaction actually produces one more product than is listed. That product is... Even though it's a softball question, she timidly waits a bit before answering, biting down slightly on her lower lip, as if to keep her concentration.
Heat.
Well done. This is an exothermic reaction. The reaction giving more heat than it is put into it. Receiving a nod from Muto, Hanako takes her seat once again and gives a relieved sigh. Shaky start, but it's something. Yeah, there's some weird crossovers now in the chat. Jeez, Nekoparo's taking over with stands and Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Adventure 2 out of nowhere. It'd be nice to take her out for her birthday. Somewhere different from the usual isolation of her room in the tea room. The progress she's made until now, I don't think she'll have much of a problem going to the city. Right then. For the remainder of this class, I'd like you to work in groups of 3 or 4 on the problems in Chapter 12. I'll be here if you need me. So sits down behind his desk, pulls some loose sheets out of a folder and starts on some kind of paperwork of his own. Thought teachers were supposed to do that kind of thing after class, not during it. Regardless, I look to my right to pick out someone to form a group with. Given 2 smiling faces hovering near mine, I don't think I'm going to get much say in the matter. Oh, they're already here for you. I suppose we have a group then.
Hey, Chan! You want to work together? Okay. That's great. It's really been a while.
Class begins the process of noisily shuffling the desks around, but she's doing the same as she puts hers in front of mine. She's a little lucky to not be able to hear the din of the classroom, which is loud enough to cause some discomfort. Oh no. Truth be told, working with Shizune and Misha is probably a good outcome. Shizune and I are pretty good at this subject, and Misha has really nice handwriting. Wow. It's too late, guys. Misha's already using her Star Platinum powers to Hisao's already pinned, guys. As I look to Misha, I notice a tall figure behind her. Shadow catches Misha's attention as well. She turns to face a dark-haired observer.
Good afternoon, Hanako!
Hello. She then finally notices Hanako after looking up following the gaze of Misha and I. Quick measure, she taps Misha on the shoulder to get her attention before signing away. She's like, where'd you put your headset? I'm not gonna lie, if I were to be have a JoJo character's powers, I'd take Dios the Waldo.
Shi-chan says, if you're looking for a group, you can join ours.
Hanako looks down and blushes a little at the offer. Out of all the people in the class, Hanako's most familiar with the 3 of us, so it's reasonable that she come to us first. Then again, her actual coming to a group with the intention of joining them is something she apparently very rarely did before. We all be Dios. The entire chat says Muda, 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 Muda! Waldo and stuff, right? She leaves briefly to drag her desk over, and Shizune and Misha wheel back to me as soon as her back is turned. She is just like adjusting her glasses.
I guess we get to play again, Hee-chan. You hardly ever play with us anymore.
I wonder why. So always seem to have some ulterior motive. She says like, he knows. We all feared backlashes.
That hurt, Hee-chan. I'd almost think you were insulting me. But it's Hee-chan, so I know you're joking.
There's a great sense of humor about it. It'd be awful if someone were to take advantage of your good nature. Like making you help them with their work. The only problem is the time stop doesn't work like that. It's not an indefinite time stop. It stops a area's time for a certain amount of time only. So it's not that time itself isn't flowing. It is. It's just everybody or everything stops for 7 seconds in that little brief period. If you can stop it for 7 seconds or whatever. I knew it was coming. I was ready. She just seems excited for a second, a little surprised that I'm willing to challenge her, but when she sees Hanako coming back, she backs off with a smile. Guess the mind games are over early today. Hanako gently sets her desk down in front of Misha's. Her eyes are locked downwards, and I'm left wondering why until I look around the class. Most are busy setting up their own groups, but a few are casting curious glances at her. This range, it's hard to tell whether that is where their interest in her ends, or if they are talking about her as well. Strange. No one bats an eyelid when Hanako runs out of class to avoid group work, but now that she's making an effort, they're staring at her as if she's done something wrong. I don't know. Shizuna would probably force Misha to charge you charge for it. We all move to sort ourselves out, spreading out our textbooks and worksheets around the larger surface created by the 4 joined desks. It isn't long before the class as a whole gets down to work.
Hi, Hanako! It's nice to finally work with you!
Yeah.
Are you the reason Hee-chan has been avoiding us lately? Hee-chan says it's a little rude, but if Hee-chan wanted to spend time with a cute girl, it's understandable.
I don't think it's like that. Hanako starts to fidget, unused to this kind of attention. I think that an ordinary person would drop the conversation by now, but Misha is like the antithesis of Hanako. Part of that includes being blind to ordinary social cues, while Hanako is overly sensitive to them. Because of that, Misha barrels ahead with the questions too quickly for me to get a chance to interject and guide the discussion somewhere more comfortable.
Really? So, he wasn't hanging out with you yesterday?
No. I can feel my cover being blown already. Lily didn't want Hanako to know that we were out buying presents for her, let alone planning out her birthday party. It wouldn't be good for her to find out. Yeah, I was doing something else. You know how it is. She's like, She's not gonna be the smart one that makes Misha pull back? Tom, it's because you want to see all of the good endings.
Really? I wonder what was so important for Hee-chan to blow us off like that. If it wasn't to spend time with Hanako, then what could it be? It's really interesting.
Now this is starting to feel like an interrogation. I'm surprised at how Misha is able to exert such a feeling of pressure without actually intending to. Were you with Lily? I know that Hanako managed to stumble on the answer. She may be dreadfully quiet and shy, but she's very intuitive. What makes you say that? Good job, Goofy! You fucked up, Hisao! God damn it, you're so bad at lying. I guess that makes sense, though. You shouldn't be good at lying. People should be honest with each other. Yeah, yesterday Lily said something so similar. She's like, oh snap!
Suspicious, Hee-chan! I demand that you explain yourself!
Hey, shouldn't we be doing the assignment?
But it's so mysterious, even Hanako wants to know.
See, as a fully functioning, level-headed individual that I am, I would, 1, not get caught in my lie anyway, and 2, I'd be like, alright, you caught me. Especially in front of the girl I like. They sussed him out already, yep. I'd be like, alright, listen, me and Lily were going birthday present shopping for Hanako. and then Hanako realized, oh, okay, it's not they were leaving me out, it's because we wanted to be a surprise. We're not gonna tell you what the gifts are though. And then that's how you do it. You still surprise them, you know? You have to be smooth. Smooth like, I don't know what's smooth. Smooth like a very fine grade of sandpaper smoothed out a surface smooth. And you lacquer it. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm working with here, okay? Anyway. Turn to look at Hanako. It's true. From the expression on her face, it's obvious that she wants to know as well. I think that we're past the point where I could weasel out of having to provide an explanation. I apologize to Lily in my mind. She really did want to keep it a secret, but now it doesn't seem possible anymore. I feel a rush of conflicting emotions, so jumbled that I can't readily identify them, but they crash around my head as he tried to calm down speed. Oh, he's going to tell him anyway. Alright, I'll tell you. I went into town with Lily, but it wasn't what you think. Lily and I were, for Hanako's birthday, we were cat's out of the bag, but it looks like Hanako's taking it a little bit better than I thought she would. Brief silence passes around our little group as Shizen and Misha look at each other sheepishly. Tell that they didn't expect their game to turn out like this. Misha looks up at Hanako in order to apologize, then pauses. Hanako is staring at the middle of her desk and barely moving, a maudlin expression on her face. Guess I was wrong about her taking it well. You have so much you want to say?
Hanako, I'm sorry.
A few seconds pause while Hanako lifts and shakes her head. It's okay. Her expression looks odd, like she's very tired. That doesn't seem natural, but it's nothing alarming. Nobody really wants to continue with the current conversation, so we open our textbooks and begin our group work. This is pretty dull. While the equations we're supposed to work on as a group will take a while, most of it is going to be boringly mechanical. It also doesn't help that while that didn't go as bad as it could have, it has left an awkward atmosphere around us. Still, we managed. Oh, so he didn't say it right! God damn it. God damn it, Hisao. Ugh! Frustrations. Now they're playing the serious music. You hear that beautiful music? Haunting and chanting, but serious nonetheless. This music great. Anyway, Shiza's face betrays that she has about the same expectations of our work as I do. Two of us begin to write our group's results. Misha, on the other hand, is scrunching up her lips and very visibly trying to make her heads or tails of what we're doing. Hanako is looking on quietly, absorbing what we write and what I say. She usually has the same expression when the teacher speaks. It's a shame her attendance is so unreliable. The way she takes in information. I think she'd do quite well in class. She actually followed the lessons regularly. I wonder if this might be why Shizune seems so hard on her.
Hey, Hanako! Do you, understand this?
She looks at Hanako, but I suspect her hope is more to find a comrade in ignorance rather than genuine help. Not really, I guess. A lot of no's was the last 5 minutes for you? Oh no. Surprised by how tense she is in answering, she settles back down. She breathes out, and the way her upper body and head lowers reminds me of a deflating balloon. You okay? I could go over this bit if you want. Hanako shakes her head slightly, but then again, I don't think she needs the extra explanation despite what she said. She quickly interjects, entirely oblivious, and I end up slowly going through how we ended up at one of our results step by step. Times like this remind me that this kind of work may not be mechanical for everyone, but rather feels that way to me due to my grasp of the subject. It's a satisfying feeling. As Misha brings her balled fist onto an open hand in realization. Ah! I discover another nice feeling. My explanation got through to her, and she managed to work out the next equation by herself with a minimum of guidance. Through all this, Hanako is unusually unresponsive. She's normally very quiet, but one can still see her eyes roving periodically over the landscape of the classroom in front of her, or anxiously moving her hands some way or shifting her shoulders periodically. Right now, these small movements I have gotten used to seeing are all missing. Someone not moving at all is definitely weird. Even Misha can tell there's something wrong.
Hanako? Are you sure you're okay?
Yes. Are you sure? I'm fine. A little more strongly this time. She turns away as she says it. Only makes me doubt her answer, yet at the same time I can tell she doesn't want to talk about it further. Tom, don't worry, it gets better. Having already had one very awkward conversation today, I'm still not fully over. I don't want to pursue the matter too much either. We settle back into our routine, debating over our answers whenever a doubt comes up. As time goes on, I notice that Hanako isn't talking at all. It's frustrating. She had made so much progress. Makes me a little angry at Shizune and Misha for undoing the surprise Lily had wanted to keep secret so much. I know I'm at fault too. Maybe I could have kept it under wraps somehow. Shizune has noticed Hanako's silence as well, and is also getting antsy. You can see it on her face. It's strange that even though she's deaf, Shizune has perceived Hanako's unusual quietness sooner than Misha. Oh, so... I don't know exactly what's happening. Like, I don't know why. Really?
Hanako, you're being too quiet. You have to contribute too. Someday, we might work on a bigger project, like the one that's so big, it's worth celebrating afterwards, like with ice cream or cake. You act like this, we won't take you along.
Jeez, Misha! You can tell that they're trying to tease her to bring her out of her shell, but I don't think that kind of approach will work on Hanako. Just make her feel worse. Guys, don't tease her like that.
Hee-chan, it's all in good fun. Shi-chan says she teases everyone anyway.
They do back off though, Misha moving away from the issue by asking me a question again. I'll see how difficult the problem she is working on is. I don't know whether it was a skillful dodge or mere coincidence. It takes way more of our time than necessary because Shizune keeps disagreeing with me while I'm trying to explain it to Misha. And Misha is quick to believe her over me. So quick in fact that she forgets to translate what Shizune is saying. Hey, the clock is kind of ticking down. We should speed up a little.
Hee-chan, you sound a little like Shi-chan there.
Just because I looked at my watch? Jeez. Is that really all it takes? Time management. Suddenly I'm the student council president? Look at Hanako's desk. See how she's doing in freeze. Papers are covered in equations, but Hanako's only halfway there. Seems like she hasn't written anything in the past 20 minutes. When I realized that, I want to kick myself for how dumb I've been. Should have known that someone as fragile as Hanako wasn't just going to brush off what happened so easily. But I've been too eager to move on from an awkward situation to notice. Damn it! He saw you're dumb! She has been slowly shutting down for the last half hour. And I had no clue. Her pen is still in her hand, but she doesn't slowly spin it around like she usually does. There isn't a single idle movement from Hanako. Only the fact that she tries to inch away once she feels Shizune, Misha, and me looking at her tells me that she is even still conscious. We look away, and at least in my case, it's partly out of shame that it's gotten to this point. Though on the outside, she has shut down almost completely. I know that it's a different story on the inside. What kind of things could she be thinking about as she tries harder and harder to shrink into herself, as if willing it she could somehow disappear? Yuji would totally have this problem too. Well, Yuji would also have been quick to apologize about this problem if he had been a portion of the people that caused it. Because he understands that. Everyone is looking at her now, stealing quick glances in between putting the finishing touches on their work. Misha attempts to ask her what's wrong. That only makes the problem worse. If she weren't frozen to her seat, she would have probably run out of the room by now. Misha's questions are loud enough to be heard throughout the entire classroom. For a second, I'm ready to snap at her because I can only imagine how much worse it's making Hanako feel. Of course, if I were to do that, it would only make the situation worse. I believed that Hanako had gotten stronger, and she has, but it wasn't enough. I was too eager to believe it. Now she's terrified alone in the middle of the classroom. There's nothing I can do without drawing more attention to her. It's infuriating. Misha's worried, and even Shizune is biting her lip. None of us know how to deal with this situation, so I decide to call Muto. His judgment would probably be better than ours. Look up and manage to catch his eye, silently motioning for him to come over. I want to make as little a fuss about this as possible, so if there's anything that would make this worse, it's more attention being focused on her. I know that Hanako can see everyone staring at our group, specifically at her, because they know that if there's a problem, it has to be her. Everyone knows her. It's the first thing anyone's mind would leap to. Her reputation for being a truant has marked her as an unusual person, even in unusual Yamaku. Miko Reimu? What? Who knows how many times they have stared at her before. It's because she's seen the class staring at her so much that she fears their gaze like she does, cowering from them. The time it takes Muto to walk over must be like an eternity to Hanako, and she looks as if she's about to fall over. Muto quietly begins to ask us what's wrong, before catching himself as he sees Hanako.
Did we upset her?
I'm sorry, guys. Anisha's so loud. Don't worry. Muto bends down after calming Misha and looks intently at Hanako's face. Hi, Ikezawa. Can I help you at all? His voice is hushed and gentle. Everyone's acting so differently around Hanako now that the whole class has noticed something wrong with her. Hanako doesn't respond, so Muto gently rests a hand on her shoulder. She starts shaking at his touch, won't even look up. Hanako continues to stare into the equations on her desk, vision so unfocused I doubt she even sees them. She's worse than before. I remember that not even an hour ago, she was able to talk to him almost normally. Shoot Misha now, please. I'm sorry, but she has her own fair share of problems, and that's why she's here. Muto grimaces a bit as he stands again, and now that his expressions change, you can see he wasn't exactly unaffected by what happened either. He takes a deep breath to settle himself before speaking in a very quiet voice. Well, impressed how quickly he takes control of the situation. Is that it? Nothing wrong then? But seems to say that to no one in particular. However, his words sound convincing enough that most of the people who were looking over at Hanako now turn away, getting back to their work. Gives a quick glance to his left and right. Several people at the desk around us are still staring curiously, but other than that, we seem to have escaped attracting too much attention. He notices me doing the same as him and smiles a little in his usual stilted way. I think for Ikezawa's sake, that would be good to quickly take her somewhere away from others. Nakai, Hakamichi, could you please take Ikezawa out of the classroom? Keep everyone settled, so please don't worry about anything but her, okay? Was that Misha to tell her to interpret his words for Shizune? She's already finished her translation by the time he does so. It's remarkable how little thought she needs to sign, and she's still quite dazed otherwise. Nodding, Shizune and I start and then move to either side of Hanako. She steps back to allow some room and talks to the table behind us. As some people there have begun to mutter between themselves about what's going on. We look at each other before lowering ourselves in unison, taking one arm around each of our shoulders and lifting. I mean, you can. I can't stop. I don't stop moderators from doing what they want, Tom. You know that. Oh, I did find out how to time out people for certain amounts of time, though. I Google searched it. The two of us begin to walk at a slow pace to make sure we don't inadvertently hurt her. As much as we try to make this look normal, I'm quite sure there would be many more gazes on us if not for Muto's distraction. Eventually, thankfully, we reach the door and go through. Nobody's outside, so we walk down the hallway. Doesn't seem like it's making her more at ease with that than she was in the classroom. Finally, I ask if she wants to just sit down. For a while, we simply stay in place and wait for her to say something. Shizune attentively rubs Hanako's shoulder a little, but there's no response. Eventually, she shakes her head a little when Shizune tries again. Both of us are looking at her, so we pick up on it immediately. Shizune's hand again comes to rest on Hanako's shoulder. As she awakens, her face lifting to two very worried and anxious people looking at her. She looks at us silently for a while. Initially worried she might freak out or something extreme. Those fears prove unwarranted as her expression slowly changes from an almost lifeless blank slate to a more normal withdrawn shyness. She wordlessly lowers her head, her eyes evasively moving to the side. She looks embarrassed, almost ashamed. I want to say something, anything, to help. I can't though. I don't really know what just happened, or even what caused it. I feel helpless and ashamed of myself for not being of any use. Shizune sighs before looking at me. Even without words, I think I can tell what she's asking. I'll take Hanako to the nurse. Is that okay with you? I try to communicate my intentions through hand gestures, but I don't feel like I managed to get through to her very well. She then makes a dreary face in response to my gesticulations, confirming my impression. She stabs her finger in the air decisively, first at me, then at Hanako, then towards the stairs. She waits for me to nod before pointing at herself, then pointing at the door to the classroom. I get the feeling she is much better at this than I am. I nod at her, since her plan is after all the same as mine. She then gets ready to make her exit. She only leaves after looking at Hanako for quite some time. Are you okay with me taking you to the nurse's office? Hanako doesn't say anything or nod, but she stands up in place by herself. When I begin to walk, she obediently follows. I've read about people being catatonic before, but I think this time I'm seeing it for myself. She looks extremely tired. After everything that's happened, it's not a surprise. After Hanako silently takes off her shoes and lies on the bed in the infirmary, the nurse and I take our leave. He shuts the curtain behind us. We both take a seat, and I quietly and thoroughly go through everything that happened in quite some detail. I want to understand what happened, and the nurse has as good a chance as anyone of knowing. He nods throughout my explanation, his face looking troubled as I finished. Must have been very troubling for you to have seen all this. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I get that she fainted, but I don't really understand anything about why it happened or why she's acting like this. He nods, but his face is clouded. You don't know either? Well, yes and no. It's complicated, man. I assume you heard about the concept of patient confidentiality at some point. It's a bit of a minefield in that respect. I'm going to put this pretty bluntly. The matter for Yukazawa and me and her therapist. I move to protest, but think better of it. I want to deny what he says, but if I think this through rationally, what he says makes perfect sense. I understand. Good. Wish I could help you more. I think what Yukazawa needs right now isn't somebody prying into her past or her emotions. She needs somebody to be there for her. She needs a friend. For what it's worth, I think you've done all well in bringing her here. Sounds like you and your friends dealt with the situation well too. Give you a lollipop or a sticker as a reward. You might be a little too old for either. Yo, I love lollipops and stickers. Wait, what? Gives a cocky grin. Obviously trying his best to lighten the atmosphere. Not really in a laughing mood, but he does manage to get a smile out of me. Thanks. Do you mind if I stay here with Hanako? I appreciate the thought. I think it would be better to let her rest for now. Yeah, Misha's, well, I think Misha's not the one to go to for it, you know how she is. She'll be led back to her dormitory room this evening, so you can visit her then. I agree with him before standing. It feels like all I can ever do around the nurse is humbly agree to what he says. It was the same with the doctors in the hospital too. The walk back to the classroom is a long one, my mind feeling heavy under the weight of so many things happening so suddenly. Even as I re-enter the classroom, I'm thinking about Hanako. My stomach feels like it's turning into knots while I think about how to deal with her. So I don't know what I'm going to say when I see her again. Just, hey, how's it going? That character's got the best name, it's just Nurse. Yeah, because he's a head nurse, so that's what they call him. Thankfully, the class doesn't pay me much heed. There are a couple of questioning glances, but overall, not many people seem to be very aware of what happened. Muto raises his eyebrows to get my attention when I pass by his desk. Nakai, take it Ikazawa's in the infirmary now. Yeah, I took her there, and the nurse said I should let her rest. Muto nods, assuring me that I made the right call. Scratches his chin for a second before rising from his desk. Everyone, I want you to continue with the exercise. Nakai, see you in the hallway, please. His speech is hushed, but overall he doesn't seem to be acting too differently from how he usually does. Being a teacher, maybe it's to be expected. The game has picked up? I thought we were getting the Hanako ending tonight. So it better be picking up. Gotta get to that end. As we go out into the hallway, I notice him taking a quick glance left and right to check if there are any students milling around. The hallway is nearly soundless, but I can't think of anything except waiting for Muto to speak. Nakai, what do you think the purpose of this school is? To cater to the needs of disabled students. Muto scratches his head as he shakes it. No. If we wanted to do that, we wouldn't have built a whole new school from scratch. One floor, talking whiteboards, that kind of thing. Look around, Nakai. School is about giving you all a future that you would have been denied in regular education. Huh? Think of it this way. If we wanted you to graduate and go straight into a hospital, do you think we put in this much effort? The bluntness of Muto's statement temporarily stuns me, causing me to forget about the immediate situation. No? That's right. We wanted you all to leave here as useful members of society. I'm not quite sure I'm following you. I have high hopes for you, Nakai. You are possibly the first student I've had that gets my lectures. This isn't something that a teacher should be admitting so freely. You can easily take your studies of science well into university. Have you ever considered that? I can't say I have. Well, what have you considered? For your future, that is. I can't say that I've put much thought into my future. For a moment, I'm distinctly reminded of Lily's questioning me about the same subject. It's only been a little over 5 months since I was gasping for air on the ground. It's too soon to be thinking about the future, and besides, Hanako's problems seem much bigger to me right now. Lil gives a disapproving sigh before continuing. Think of this place as an opportunity. Here, you have boundless facilities, good teachers, plus the added bonus of the nurse and his staff. Should be doing nothing but thinking of the future. Right. As I raised my head to meet his gaze, a thought occurs to me. It's almost like Muto totally sidestepped the issue at hand. Excuse me, why do none of the staff seem to care when Hanako skips class? I've seen you watch her walk out of class more than once. Shouldn't you at least say something? Well, Nakai, it's not really that simple. Every student here has special needs. If it weren't for that, then we wouldn't have a school here. For example, I wouldn't keep you in class if you were having trouble breathing, would I? But that's not... It cuts me off before I can even think about finishing my sentence. Ikazawa's case is very much like that, but instead of CPR or a pacemaker, what she needs is time and space. The faculty was made aware of this from the day she arrived here. Thus, whenever she feels the need to leave classes, we let her do so. And even though she isn't a star pupil, she seems to pass all of our exams, so it hasn't affected her ability to study. Isn't that enough? I open my mouth to protest, but I can't find a fault in his argument. While her condition does at first seem to be wholly physiological, its worst effects have been on her psyche. Still puts me off though. Isn't he just passing on the responsibility for her problem? Surely she can't go on like this for her entire life. I understand that you might not be used to this kind of thing yet. It's been a big change for you. That said, it's less than a year until graduation now. Maybe you won't have to get used to this school. If you keep your head down, I'm sure you'll do well enough in your exams. I numbly nod, more to simply acknowledge that I'm listening than out of agreement. I felt like I was getting used to this school, but it feels like it's just been thrown back in my face. But what about Hanako? I believe, well, I hope that she performed well enough to do what she wants to do. What that is, I don't know. Not all students leave school with an idea what they want to do, unfortunately. Takes care to emphasize the last word, as if it wasn't quite clear enough already, and gives me a moment to mull his words over. Today's been a troublesome day for you. I doubt you'd be able to concentrate much anyway after all that happened, so I'll allow you to take the rest of the day off. Grades have been good in this class so far, which makes me think you won't have any trouble catching up on what we've been doing. Gives a small smile with his praise, as if to make up for the seriousness of his lecture before now. Go collect your things. I'll see you tomorrow. Right. Thank you. Muto's roundabout speech has left my thoughts scattered. I'm still not any closer to working out what I can do to help Hanako. If anything, and my mind is all the more confused about after what Muto said. I'm also still bothered by the fact that Hanako is helped at least as much by Shizune, her enemy by proxy, as by myself. I don't know whether that is just male bravado or a genuine concern. I'll collect Hanako's and my things from the class, continue to try and sort out my feelings. I want to say that I understand her, that I am there for her, but while I might have been able to say that just yesterday, I can't say it now. I wish I could. I lay on my bed trying to collect my thoughts. After Hanako's panic attack, I found myself fundamentally reassessing the relationship we share and what I know about her. I had a hard enough time dealing with 4 months in the hospital. One look at her scars told me that she was in one for a lot longer than I was. Be that as it may, I know next to nothing about her past. She has told me about the house fire, but only in the most basic way. And what of her family? Still haven't asked Lily about them. There hasn't been a good opportunity to bring it up. Tom, casually, calm yourself. I don't know where she grew up, or what her old school is like, nor of her past friends, her wishes and ambitions. Not even her taste in music, food, and movies. All the little things I knew about all my own friends. Just what have I been doing for all this time I've been with her and Lily? In the distance, I hear the bells signaling the end of classes. With any luck, Lily will soon realize that neither Hanako nor I are around and return to the dormitories. My mobile phone starts to ring, cutting my thinking short. It quite startles me, as I've rarely been called since coming to Yamaku. Hello, Isao Nakai speaking.
Oh, Hisao. I'm glad I found you. You weren't at any of our usual places, so I thought this would be the fastest way to contact you.
Probably should have guessed it would be Lily, as she's one of the few people I've given my number to. Even through my phone, her voice sounds slightly on edge. I'll use it to deal with the shit? Alright. Hanako and I left class early. She had some kind of panic attack. The line goes silent. If it weren't for the background static, I would have thought Lily had hung up on me. This is the background static. Telling you the phone call's still going. What? that was some weird static.
I understand. Could you come by my room? I'd like to talk with you.
Sure, I appreciate the chance to have a bit of a talk, actually.
Good. I also have some bad news. I think we should discuss this in person.
It's hard to grasp the seriousness of the situation from Lily's tone. It sounds so calm most of the time, but that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Okay, I'll be right there. Collect Hanako's school things from my desk and head straight for Lily's room. Run. Wrap my knuckles on her door as she soon calls me in. Lily sits at the table inside her room, looking a little worse for wear. Guess that's because of the bad news. Following her gesture and invitation, I sit across from her and lay Hanako's things on the table.
Well, there's no point in either of us waiting. Would you mind going first, Hisao? What happened today?
You won't go through Emmy's or Hanako's route sober? Wow. Oof. My memory of the incident is already beginning to fade, but I explain it as best I can to Lily. Finding Hanako to work with the group, Shizen and Misha's questioning, our foray to the town getting discovered, and a subsequent panic attack. I had Shizen's reaction almost as an afterthought, but Lily seems to take some kind of comfort in hearing about it. I guess rivals don't become rivals for no reason. There must be some history there. Now isn't the time to explore it.
I see. She had said that her therapist sessions were helping, but I had my doubts. It's quite a shame. Her birthday has caused problems before, but I'd hoped that she would have improved with you around, and the more intensive therapy.
Oh! Something bad happened on her birthday! Oh, shit. I would have also walked right into that and be like, fuck did I do? What could I have done different? Damn it. Anyway.
Where is Hanako now?
Last time I saw her, she was in the infirmary. Guess she's gone back to her room by now?
She wasn't in the library or the tea room when I checked, so I can only assume that too.
You said you also had some bad news. What's the matter? Does it concern Hanako? Your Wi-Fi's dying. Ouch. Lily shifts her position, the body's way of saying she's searching for the right words.
My aunt has fallen gravely ill. I'm afraid I'm going to be heading back to Scotland to visit her, to spend some time with my family.
What? Is she alright? When do you leave?
I'm not altogether sure of exactly how she's faring at the moment. Though, last I heard she was stable. We're leaving Saturday. It's the earliest flight I can get.
Stable. That's code for needs to stay in the hospital. I've been stable long enough to know that, and to know that it doesn't necessarily mean someone's in good condition and merely treading water. On the upside, stable is much better than critical condition. At least she's not on the brink of death. Stable, that's a relief.
Yes, but this means that I won't be here for Hanako's birthday. I want to tell you now, so we can think of something before we told Hanako. But after today's events, I'm not even sure if there's going to be an issue if we simply cancel the party.
I don't think that is such a good idea. Hanako already knows that we're planning a party now. To go back on that seems like the wrong thing to do. Also, we should do something for you're going away, right?
You make it sound as if I won't be coming back. If all goes well, I should only be awake for a week, though, possibly 2.
That's one relief at least.
With that in mind, what do you suggest then?
Given the circumstances, I don't think karaoke is really appropriate. Not going away for the greatest of reasons, so having too much fun would feel wrong. What did you do for her birthday last year?
Last year, I literally couldn't get her out of the room. She locked the door. All I could do was leave food outside for her, making sure that she was at least eating well.
This is perhaps the most depressed I've ever seen in her Lily act. I feel sorry for her, given how defeated she must feel to be unable to help her closest friend. Perhaps it would be better to throw the party before you leave then?
That does sound like would be the easiest option.
I think we should at least tell Hanako, both about your trip and her party. I have her things from class as well.
That's a good point. Should we go visit her now?
I think that would be a good idea. Part of me is dying to see Hanako. The last time I saw her, she looked like death walking, and the last few hours have torn me apart just thinking about that. We quietly get up and file out of Lily's room. Hanako's room is next door in the same hallway. Knocking lightly gets us no response, but the door proves to be unlocked. Lily pauses for a moment as the handle unexpectedly moves under her hand for opening the door. Hanako's room is startlingly bare and monotone. There are no decorations on the plain white walls. A plain dark blue blanket and only a few books, papers, and purely utilitarian items on the shelves. Even our bed sheets are monochrome. The entire room feels as subdued as Hanako's character. Hanako herself is laying curled up on her bed. She may not be crying now, but her eyes are closed tightly to stop herself. And the tracks left by her tears still sit on her reddened cheeks. Quietly walk in and set her bag down on her desk, afraid of startling her too much.
Hello, Hanako. Hisao told me about what happened today. Are you alright?
Hanako's eyes open, though only a little.
I'm okay.
She tilts her head slightly to look at me, noticing my grimacing before I can hide it.
Sorry for making you worry. Really, I'm fine now.
She really doesn't look nor sound okay, though at least she seems more calm than she was before. She still looks as if the slightest breath could emotionally break her. I said it before, right? You don't need to be sorry for this.
Hisao's right. I shouldn't have hidden something like a birthday celebration from you.
I see Hanako shiver at the word. Lily picks up on the silence that follows and crouches down to Hanako's level.
I'm the one who should be sorry, Hanako.
Hanako's eyes open to peer at Lily. She looks at Lily for some time, taking in her face with those dark, analytical eyes of hers. Lily must have made the right impression on her, as Hanako recovers enough to prop herself up on the bed, Shift is sitting on its side. Hanako worries about many things, but troubling others is foremost among them. Hearing Hanako shuffling, Lily moves forward and feels out the side of the bed, eventually taking a seat beside her, taking Hanako's left hand in both of hers. The feeling of me being out of place where the two are together has lessened that time we've known each other, but still occasionally very much there. This is one of those times, I think. Starting me with Hanako's a bad idea? I don't think so. It's very interesting. I was even caught off guard too. Lily, if you want me to go... I don't want that. Lily and I were both surprised at Hanako's mustering her courage. A half-mumbled okay is all I can give to her reply and take her desk chair to sit in. Tom probably had to switch devices because of the internet. Hanako, I'm afraid I have some bad news. So Lily's going to break the news now. With Hanako having affirmed our relationship so clearly, perhaps Lily thought the timing was good, or at least as good as it will ever be. Yeah. My aunt has fallen ill, so I need to return to my family for a time. Concern replaces Hanako's remorseful expression. Your family? You mean in Scotland, right? That's right. Akira and I will be leaving Saturday. So you're going away? I won't be gone for long. Probably only a week or two. I'll be back before you know it. And Hisao will be here, right? That's right. I'm not going anywhere. Hanako seems to take only minor comfort in this, but she does manage to summon some resolve from somewhere inside her. Is your aunt going to be alright? I'm not sure. Silence falls. It's depressing that the thing to truly bring Hanako out of her rut is another's misfortune. Decide to bring up another matter that brought us here. Distract at least in part from the dismal feeling permeating the room. Anyway, we're thinking that it would be a good idea to have a going away party for Lily. It could double as... yeah. Cut myself off for mentioning her birthday, as that seems to be a trigger for some fierce emotions within her. Lily gives Hanako's hand a gentle squeeze. Is that alright by you, Hanako? It won't be anything lavish or overdone. Just something small in my room. So just in the school? Just us? That's right. Just the three of us. If you like, I could ask Akira to come as well. Okay. You're only going for a week? 1 week or two, yes. I promise you it won't be any longer. Okay. Most people will be upset at hearing about a friend's family member falling ill and happy at having a party. Well, Hanako, it seems that both events are on the same level. Alright then. You look like you need a rest, Hanako, so it might be best if we all went back to our rooms for now. You know that if you ever want anything, you can always talk to me or Isao, right? Lily's voice is pensive, an unusual edge for someone as confident in herself as she. I understand. Thank you, Lily. Hisao. Well then, good night, Hanako. Night. Let out a long breath after the door closes behind us. Feels a little like I've been deep underwater, and only now have I been able to come up for air. Lily doesn't seem to be doing well either. She looks pale and drawn. Are you alright? I'm just a little tired. It's been hectic recently. Have you slept at all? A little tired sounds like an understatement given how you look. I think I managed to get a couple hours of sleep before class. I'll be okay. I feel bad about pressing Lily right now. I think both of us are pretty tired from everything that's happened as well. I think you should get some rest. It's been a big day, and staying up isn't good for your complexion. Thank you for your concern, Hisao. Good night, then. Okay, night, Lily. I leave Lily in the hallway as she opens the door to her room. I begin to make my way to my own. As I walk down the quiet hallway, I can't get that image of Hanako out of my mind, huddled and pitiable, lying helplessly with tears on her cheeks. I began to think that she was just a normal, if extremely shy person, but her problems run much deeper. Trying to take our relationship further than what we share now, when she's so fragile and vulnerable, wouldn't be right. I don't need to be more than her friend in order to protect her. To try and stop anything like this ever happening again. The possibility of my feelings for her going beyond that doesn't matter anymore. Hanako is precious to me. That's why I can't take advantage of her. But even so, there's still that sting I feel when I think that way. For now, I need to sleep. Tomorrow hopefully will be a better day. Serious. It's getting serious. If there's any more Misha voice, however, things will unravel and become not so serious. Hanako is more noticeable in her absence than when she is in her room. I feel her empty desk calling out for me. I find myself peering over my shoulder endlessly, hoping that I'm hallucinating, that Hanako will magically appear. She makes sure she's as small a presence as possible when she attends class. And although she has been getting better recently, that fact never changed. Nobody ever pays her any heed in class, and now that she's not here, they don't notice her absence. It's as if she's just never existed. Lily did say that her skipping class wasn't an unusual thing before I met her, but still very off-putting. The bells heralding the end of school makes me jump in my seat. It's only now that I notice Misha is prodding me in the side with her mechanical pencil to get my attention. It's like stabbing him. Hello! Is anybody there? Hey, stop that. Ah! There we are! Welcome back to Earth, Hee-chan! What are you talking about? You keep on dazing off into space! I was beginning to think you might be trying to contact alien life! I really didn't get much sleep last night, so I don't doubt Misha's words. Not sure whether it was due to my medicine, side effects, Hanako's panic attack yesterday, my worrying about her in general, or all three. Usually it's a combination thereof. Now it is. I yawned tiredly before resting my chin in my palm, having been reminded of how badly I slept. Hey! Are you really alright? Yesterday kinda rattled me as well. Yeah, I guess. I wanted to speak to Hanako again, though. Did you see her last night? Yeah, Lily and I talked to her. This may sound a bit weird, but can you tell Shizune thank you from both me and Lily? I know Lily technically didn't thank Shizune, but I could tell by her reaction last night that she wanted to. At least, that's how it works out in my head. Begone, Misha! Oh, Shizune blushed at that one. I think what Shi-chan is trying to say is you're welcome. Fierce signing and Shizune's reddened cheeks tell me what she said was entirely different. Her blatantly flustered expression is amusing enough to make me chuckle. What's so funny, Hee-chan? Was it something we said? No, that's not it. I was simply thinking about how cute Shizune can be at times. You're right! Shi-chan is really cute when she tries not to be. I notice that Misha decides not to sign her response to Shizune. Maybe Shizune's rage is enough of a counter to any quantity of cute. Nevertheless, Shizune quickly calms down and signs something else to Misha. Oh, okay, Hee-chan. Shi-chan wants you to come and have dinner with us. Dinner, eh? Turning away from them a bit, lest I be swayed by their pleading smiles, I begin to mull it over. The invitation certainly is tempting. Takeaway dinner with two cute girls, not a bad thing after all. Thought of Hanako locked up in her room, though. Keeps dancing on the edge of my mind. Sorry. Have to pass. It's the Hanako route. Ah. Misha doesn't sign my response, but Shizune picks up on it easily enough and grimaces in disappointment. She moves her arms, assumingly beginning some form of either protest or coercion, but stops herself and taps Misha's shoulder twice. When Misha gives Shizune her attention, the only statement Shizune has on the matter is a shrug. Oh well, it's your choice, Hee-chan. Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about Luca. I watch that show. Yeah, I watch that show. Promise I'll join you two another time if that helps. Misha perks up at this, but Shizune doesn't share her reaction. The flick of the head to signal for Misha to follow her away, Shizune simply raises her hand to silently wave me goodbye. The two make their way out the door. I return the gesture until they're out of the sight. I didn't think they would be so disappointed. Makes me feel a little bad for ditching them. Still, I have things to do. The girls' dormitory is especially rowdy today. The number of girls loudly playing games and watching television in the common room on the first floor. You hear their voices even now, standing in front of Hanako's door. An odd contrast to the emptiness of the floor she's on. The voices from below make the emptiness feel all the more lonely. I had hoped Hanako would be in class today, especially after the talk Lilia and I had with her last night. I feel like I shouldn't hold it against her. It's a pretty awful episode, and to have experienced it firsthand must be all the worse. Not knowing what state she's in, I take a small breath before giving a few sharp knocks on her brown door. All I can do is stand and wait, doing my best not to feel anxious. The seconds wear on. I begin to think she might be asleep and didn't hear me knocking. Door handle rattles a little before I can raise my hand to knock again, though. Door opens a sliver, and I peering in the gap only just large enough for it to peer through. I'm sure this girl would install a peephole in her dormitory door if only such a thing was allowed. I stand and smile at her. I don't think words would really help here after all. The act is returned and kind, with Hanako wordlessly looking at me. The gap's not wide enough to see her expression. I can only guess what she's thinking. Time passes as we look at each other, the only sound being disembodied gaiety from the ground floor. I'm not sure how long it takes, but eventually the eye moves away. I keep wondering whether she'll let me in or shut me out until the door slowly begins to creak open. Creak! Now that I have a full view of her in her bedroom behind, the first thing I notice is that Hanako's hair is quite damp. She recently showered, which is made even more obvious by the scent of shampoo wafting over me. The look on her face seems one of curiosity, as if she's not really sure what to make of me. Even so, I'm not really all that sure of what she's thinking. Feels as if she's gone away for a long time, and having now returned, neither of us know what to say to the other. Oh man, I lost a girlfriend that way, actually. Hanako realized she's staring, looking away awkwardly before turning to the side and gazing at her feet. I decide to take it as an invitation and step past her into the room, closing the door behind me as I do so. And locking it. Wait, what? I can see her hands fiddling in the folds of her oversized gown that hangs from her shoulders. I try to concentrate on what I want to say, but the scent from her addles my senses. To my surprise, it's not me, but Hanako that breaks the silence. Why? Because, why did I come here? I was worried about Hanako, so I came to her room. She let me in, as I had hoped, and then what? What did I mean to do? What did I mean to say? Why did I think this through before coming here? Well, to make up for what I feel I caused, at least partly. I'm gonna try to remove the distance I feel between us since then. And to see her happy. Happy! Because I'm happy. My headphones are getting stuck on the wires on the floor. Anyway, how can I do that when I don't know the first thing about her? Not this background track? I wonder if this is how Iwanako felt when she saw me lying in that sterile pastel blue hospital bed. Deep sigh steadies my nerves a little and ends my stammering. I don't think I've ever felt this nervous around someone before. Unlike this, I don't think I can lie. If I could bring myself to, Hanako would see through it right away. I don't know, I just wanted to see you, I guess. Her fingers stop moving, giving me a little surprise. Looking up to her face, she gives a sweet smile and a nod. That was a satisfactory answer for her? Since you're here, I'd like to play a game of chess with you. I almost hang my head in disbelief that that's all she wanted to do. After I've been winding myself up so much, is play a game. Look at her face though, a tentative smile perched upon it. I realize that this is more than that. She could have not bothered answering the door. She could have shut it as soon as she saw my face. She could have asked me to leave. She could have rejected me at many points, but she didn't. Now with this calm face, she wants me to play the same game that we played when we first really spent time alone together. A feeling of relief washes over me. Everything will be alright. Hanako has let me into her world. As long as we can be together like this, I think everything will be alright. It would be my pleasure. So, I'm assuming we're going to have some more ups and downs, because there are definitely more choices. The day of Hanako's birthday party is finally here. Yay! To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Hanako and Lily in their pajamas again. What the hell, Isao? You freaking perv. Hanako's gown has grown on me as looking rather cute, though a bit conservative, and Lily's shorts and thin silken top are a lovely combination. Spats. The event is stained a little with the memory of Hanako's reaction to it. I still don't really understand what happened, only being able to vaguely guess at the possible reasons for it, but I don't think finding the answer will be as straightforward as asking her. With that in mind, I knock on the door next to Hanako's. And I drink my drink. Is that you, Hisao? Yeah, it's me. I can hear the pitter-patter of footsteps coming to the door, followed by the sound of the lock snapping open. I don't think I've ever seen Lily's door locked before, and it makes me a little suspicious. As the door opens, the sight is a little underwhelming for a birthday party. Hanako returns to her seat at the table with a quick smile and a nod, leaving me to close and assuming they wanted it to be kept that way, lock the door. As they do so, I realize that the scene before me is that of an evening tea party, just like any other between the two. Somehow, I don't think I should be surprised. Yeah. To my relief, Hanako looks relatively calm. The break from class has probably done her good and given her time to wind down a bit. Yo, it's no problem, Tom. Take a seat between the two at the low table in the center of Lily's room, the brightly colored teapot steaming away between us. The tall brown bag close by Lily's side catches my attention. Covertly try to glance aside it a couple of times, but can't get a good look from here. Looking to Hanako, it seems like she's as curious about it as I am. Hey, Lily? Lily finishes off. You know what should be number one? Katawa Shoujo, right here. Boom! This is the number one live stream game. Totes! All of 2 people playing it. I'm one of those 2 probably. And we don't even play at the same time. Anyway, Lily finished off the teacup, raised to her lips before setting it down again, giving me her attention. Yes. I was just wondering about that brown bag. She paused for a moment, then gives a slightly cheeky smile. That would be Akira's present. Unfortunately, she said she was working and can't join us. Lily leans over and feels out the item inside before raising her arm. Raising eyebrows, 2 items, not 1, rise from the bag. The glass necks are grasped by Lily on either side of her middle finger. So this is why she had her door locked. Wine. There are 2 small thuds as the bottles are brought to rest on the table, one red and one white. I want to believe that's fake, non-alcoholic wine. But if it was, there wouldn't be any need to be this circumspect. Alcohol? Seriously? Are you sure that's a good idea? There's 3 Katawa Shoujo's? What? Yo. I think we're somewhere in Act 3? Wanna say? I think we're gonna try to finish the route tonight, though. So we're probably gonna go a little bit longer. Maybe like another hour, between like another hour or 2, I think. Hopefully. We'll see. Lily smiles politely and giggles. I'm not really convinced that she is. These would be the presents from my sister. I know it's a bit questionable, but a little shouldn't hurt. If Lily took serious issue with it, I don't think she'd have agreed quite so easily. That aside, I had Akira squared as a serious and responsible type, maybe like an older Lily. It looks like I was wrong. We aren't even legally able to drink yet. I mean, a little wine's not gonna hurt you, really, let's say. Well, wine's fine. Well, in that case, I won't complain. They don't look bad either. I'm no connoisseur, but at least the bottles look nice. Apart from a surreptitious glass of wine or 2 given from my father at family dinners, I haven't really had enough to know what's what. What? I don't know what's when, what's it's what. That, and I can't really say that I'm a total straight edge. Going by Hanako's expression, she's thinking the same. It's her birthday anyway. Shall I open one? Sure, I'll get my heart skips as I hear 3 sharp bangs coming from Lily's door. Hanako's head flicks around and Lily's eyes close as she listens intently. None of us want to be busted for this. Who is it? Let me in! I'm cold. Lily lets out a resigned sigh before motioning for Hanako to open the door. She obediently gets up and fusses with her gown before moving. Apparently she's not quite sure of who it is, but trusting enough in Lily to do as she requests. Alright, see you, King. Have fun with dinner. I can just see a blonde, dark-suited figure become visible over Hanako's shoulder as she opens the door. Happy birthday, Hanako! Well, thank you, Akira. Hanako gives a small bow while twiddling her fingers in front of her. So this is Lily's elusive sister. What? Yeah, she got red eyes. Another 2.5 hours? Oh, jeez. I don't know, it still might be doable. Akira follows Hanako to the table after shutting the door behind her, giving me plenty of time to have a good look at her. She looks about the same height as Hanako, and has short blonde hair that's quite roughly cut. That, in addition to her rather modest breasts, masculine suit, and deep voice, gives her quite an androgynous effect. Okay, so a deeper voice. Without further ado, she plops herself down on the side of the table across from me. She a vampire? It's nice to have your company after all, Akira. Did work let you off? Yep. This is me? Yep. I have to go back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. So this would be Hisao then. So it'd be like slightly higher pitched me. Confident smile gets thrown in my direction, so I nod politely in return. Considering she just jumped straight to using my first name, she's much more informal than her appearance would suggest. Wait, she already knows who I am. That must mean that Lily's talked about me with her. I wonder what she said. Sorry for not introducing you, Hisao. This is Akira Sato, my elder sister. I see. Nice to meet you. The person in question loudly claps her hands together, making Hanako jump a little bit. Akira notices this and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second before getting back into her stride. Only now do I realize that Akira hasn't paid Hanako's scars any undue attention. Hanako also seems to be comfortable, if not exactly relaxed around Akira. Well then, I assume the presents got through? No point in waiting, considering Hisao and the birthday girl look like they're pretty eager. Lily giggles as I awkwardly turn away, a little embarrassed by the fact that I couldn't hide my interest. Hanako's eyes are telling me that she wants to try the wine together with me, though, so I settle for a look of badly feigned indifference. Akira managed to uncork the first bottle with small effort, and Hanako goes to get some glasses before I get to pour the four of them full of white wine. Ooh, white wine. Good start. Heard somewhere that white wine has less alcohol than red wine, so I think it would be the best to start with. That's alright, Akira voice? Thanks. Here's to Hanako and to Lily's trip. Cheers! Cheers! Cheers. After a traditional raising of the glass... Kanpai! After a traditional raising of the glasses, we all take sips of the pale yellow liquid. Nothing like the stuff I had with my parents, with the fruitiness of the flavor almost entirely hiding the taste of alcohol. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine which would be suited to our tastes, since none of us are used to alcohol yet. Or at least I hope none of us are. Dun 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 dun! This isn't too bad. I was expecting something harsher. If you hadn't liked it, I have a few other varieties you could have chosen from. Sound like you know your stuff when it comes to wines. Only a bit. I'm more of a beer kind of person. Okay, so me and Akira can't appreciate the finer things of life. Hard liquor. What? I have the drinking side down pat, though. As if to prove her point, she refills her glass before bringing it to her lips and flicking her head back. Hanako and I silently watch as the whole glassful disappears down Akira's throat. Can't decide whether to be impressed or put off, but I certainly don't have any urge to imitate the act. Lily grimaces slightly at her sister's boast. I note that she's sipping from her glass as she does so, though. Anyway, now that Akira's gift has been opened and sampled, shall we move on to ours? Gifts?
That's right. We got you presents. It's your birthday after all. This is from me.
Lily pulls out a carefully wrapped doll from under the table and passes it to Hanako. Hanako handles the present as if it were glassware, carefully turning it over to remove the tape that binds the wrapping. Eventually, the paper falls from the doll, revealing the emerald green of the doll's dress.
It's beautiful.
I'm not sure what reaction I was expecting from Hanako. The near total lack of dolls in her room made me think that she didn't care about them. The look in her eyes now is something different. She turns the doll around with the same delicacy she afforded the wrapping, as if she was expecting it to fall apart in her hands.
I'm glad that you like it. Hisao picked it out, to be honest.
Hanako suddenly remembers that she is not alone in the room and shifts her focus from the doll.
Yes, I like it. Thank you, Lily and Hisao.
Actually, I got you something else. I reach into my bag and remove the wrapped chess set. Here, happy birthday. Hanako carefully sits Lily's doll next to her and opens my present with the same care that she showed Lily's. Akira's just stare all confident like, yep, I'm here. What's up? For long, the checkered squares of the chessboard are visible. Hanako gently runs her fingers across the carved surfaces.
Oh.
Almost by accident, she triggers the catch to the lid. Startling herself in the process, she opens it and retrieves one of the gray pieces. She seems as absorbed in the chess pieces as she was in the doll before. They're coral. Natural coral, undyed. Or so I'm told.
Thank you, Hisao.
No problem. It's your birthday after all.
That's right. My birthday.
It's getting Hanako's reaction seems a little off. She carefully closes the board lid. I notice Akira's smile begin to look very strained. I wonder if she knows anything about what happened in class, given that she seems to be treading on eggshells around Hanako. I have to play with you again sometime.
I'll make sure I'll play you first.
She takes the doll she received from Lily and holds it to her chest together with the small chessboard, putting the pieces on top. Aww, it's a cute doll. The act seems to settle her down somewhat, and we just sit in silence for a while. I think it's one of the few times I've seen her genuinely happy, cradling the friendship of two people to her chest as tightly as she can.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Hanako.
The process of thanking us, Hanako drops the chess piece and fumbles a bit in her rush to retrieve it. When she finds out, Hanako puts the chess set down and nervously gulps out her wine. It's as if the real world suddenly rushed back into her consciousness and her fastest escape from it was in a glass. Hey, easy there. Shouldn't drink it that fast.
It is a party, Hisao.
Despite saying this, there's a slightly concerned edge to her voice. Eventually acquiescing, Lily proceeds to follow Hanako's lead, though not as eagerly. She looks to be taking small sips from her glass and letting the wine settle on her tongue before swallowing. I decide this is probably the best approach and do the same myself, since this is a kind of going away party for you as well. Hope you enjoy your trip at least a little, Lily. Hopefully your aunt will be okay.
I hope your aunt is okay too, Lily.
Lily and I are slightly taken aback by Hanako's fervor to wish Lily well, despite her own familial situation. I'm a little impressed.
My, thank you both. I'll be sure to convey your thoughts to my family when I meet them.
It'll all be fine in the end, Lily. Don't worry about it. So the room's mood has been noticeably more sullen, so I try and move things along. Well then, shall we start on the cake? I intended the suggestion has the intended effect, everyone lightening up considerably.
Yes, please. Cake? I didn't know there was a cake.
Picked one up before I came, along with some snacks.
Well done, Hisao. At least one of us remembered to bring one.
Everyone seems to welcome the distraction, so I retrieve the cake from my bag and start cutting it up. Mixing wine and chocolate cake isn't something that I thought would work well, but none of us seem to mind. Conversation is temporarily suspended as we start to eat. Nom 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 nom. I was initially wary of this idea, After Hanako's panic attack, I expected the worst from tonight. I think Lily's idea of giving her good memories of her birthday is working. That and also having us share it with her going away party. From Hanako's reaction to her gifts, I can tell she was really appreciative. Hanako tries to pour herself another glass of wine, but ends up spilling some on the table. She had a couple by now, so considering that she's never had alcohol before, so I wonder if she's feeling a bit lightheaded. So sorry, Lily. I didn't mean to make a mess. Don't worry, I've got it. Lily reaches sideways and gently takes the fussing Hanako in her arms, giving me pause. It's okay, Hanako. I'm just happy you're here. Hanako gives only a faint nod in response. It's fitting, I suppose, that Lily would be the one to support her like this. I have no idea what Hanako would be like if she hadn't. Seeing the two like this makes me appreciate the fact that I'm privy to such an intimate moment. Akira can't help but smile at the sight. And drink all the wine. What? I never would have thought I'd manage to find new friends so quickly. I'm all more thankful that of all people, these two are the two I befriended. They slowly break off from one another, Hanako regaining herself somewhat while I quickly get myself back on task. Find a towel among Lily's tea set and start mopping up the spillage. By the time I finish, however, Hanako and Lily have now managed to uncork the other bottle and have topped off their glasses. Looks like you're enjoying the wine, then. Just don't go too crazy with it after this, mind. They all dutifully nod and agree. But her reminder feels a bit silly given that she's the one supplying underage people with alcohol. And our drunk. Second glass of wine goes down a lot quicker than the first, and before any of us notice, the second bottle is empty. While Akira is helping us finish them off, Hanako looks to be almost equaling her in the amount she had. My head feels a little light, but I think I managed to gauge my own tolerance surprisingly well. Hanako smiles lazily, toying with her doll's hair. I think it's a pretty safe bet that she hasn't moderated herself as well as I. Alright, Tom. Well, bed is important, you know. I don't think it was Hanako's intention to get this drunk. But it seems that the alcohol hit her all at once. She has a very light frame, something which wouldn't help her handle her booze well either. Lily cradles a glass, running a finger around the rim. Her cheeks are rosy, but she's managed to avoid looking woefully drunk. Akira is, as I somewhat expected, largely unaffected. It's like, whatevs. Her smile might be a little wider than before, though. Maybe. Hanako suddenly hiccups and accidentally knocks over the doll. I think I should maybe go to bed. Thank you, Isao. Thanks, Lily. And Akira. She slurs Akira's name pretty hard, barely avoiding breaking out into a giggle midway through. She's completely plastered, and can't decide whether I should feel a little bad or not for being amused at the state she's in. Really, it's bizarre to see her acting so carefree. Shame that it's only with the help of alcohol. Here, let me give you a hand. Akira begins to get up to help Hanako out, but she's stopped when Lily gives a sharp cough. Isao, would you please? Akira looks a little surprised. I have to admit, I am as well. I don't mind the request at all, let alone when it's said with such a smile. Just comes rather unexpectedly. Sure, no problem. Pick up the chest stand and help Hanako stand up. I do feel somewhat responsible for her, considering that other than Akira, probably the most sober person in the room. She nurses the doll in one hand and offers me the other. We stumble out of the door into the hallway into Hanako's room, Hanako bumping into me a number of times on the way. Ask the Igor for a velvet blue elevator? Uh-oh. Inside the room, I flick on the light as Hanako turns her attention towards a shelf on her dresser. An elegant doll sitting on it, staring into the bare room. There you go. You'll be safe in here. Aww. Hanako gingerly places the doll next to the other one and straightens its dress. They sit in silence, hair and clothes perfectly arranged. Just like the teapot in Lily's room, they serve as a distinct contrast to the dull whites and grays that permeate her bedroom. Satisfied that her dolls, her only two real possessions, are safe, Hanako takes a step back and stands up, staggering severely. I step forward to catch her if need be, but she regains her balance without my help. For a while, both of us stand in silence, and Hanako looks downward toward the cupboard. For a minute or two, she begins to sway a little from side to side. It's very off-putting. Are you going to be alright? Hanako raises her head and turns around to me as if she's only just remembered that I'm also in the room. What's unexpected is that she takes 2 steps toward me and wraps her arms around my body, her head coming to rest against my chest. Oh, I can feel my heart beating as all of my senses feel like they're coming alive again, after they're deadening through the previous drinking. The smell of wine on her breath, the feeling of her fingers through my clothing, the scent of her hair underneath my chin. My hands remain out in front of me, not daring to touch her. The temptation is there to hug her, to embrace her, to tell her everything will be fine. This feels wrong. Really, really wrong. Hanako. But I want to stay with you and Lily. Hanako's slurring reminds me a bit of Misha. Probably wouldn't be pleased to hear that. No, I can't. You're a girl and I'm a guy, after all. And Lily needs to sleep. She gives a disappointed groan. It's so strange for her to act so forward. Pull off your face! Don't worry. I'll see you again tomorrow, okay? So I had to rest a hand on her head to reassure her, saying that this is as far as I'll allow myself to go in terms of physical contact with her while she's in this state. Hanako's head nuzzles against my chest. Makes me feel all the more uneasy with the situation. As her arms tighten around my back, I quickly decide to bail out. Rest my hands on her shoulders and give her a firm but gentle push. Her grip tightens a little as I do so, but she eventually breaks off. I don't want you to go. Hanako, please. Kiri and Lily are going to start thinking weird stuff if I take too long here. It's perfectly true, too. I really don't want to take any chances. I feel very uncomfortable right now. I shouldn't try to read anything into this the way she's acting right now. Read that aside from alcohol lowering inhibitions, we could react to getting drunk in many different ways that don't necessarily reflect reality. Even without that, there are plenty of ways to interpret what she's saying. As long as she's safe, we should try and get her out of her room as soon as possible. Hanako hiccups again, looking at a right mess as she stands and looks downcast in the center of the room. Her personality changed as she drank more and more, and now, all alone in her room with me, her previous brightness seems to have left her. Was she just acting upbeat to make sure we didn't worry? Even if she was, what could I possibly do for her? So I do exactly the same thing in regards to my own condition. Distancing from myself from my thoughts, I eventually managed to corral Hanako toward her bed. Her attempts to tame the wild sheets on its end up accomplishing little. Sorry about tonight, Hanako. Now you probably won't remember any of this, but happy birthday. I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you. She looks at me for a moment. I have no idea if what I said actually got through to her, but any chance to ask is lost as her eyes peacefully close. I sigh in relief before quietly backing away from her and leaving the room, flicking the light switch off as I go. I hesitate a little before opening the door to Liu's room again, clearly rehearsing what I should say if I get questioned about Hanako. For 3 seconds I still can't come up with anything. I open the door and make sure to close it behind me, lest all passing students catch a glimpse of the wine before turning my attention to the 2 girls at the low table. Kira is casually smiling, as is Lily. I welcome the change from the mood in Hanako's room. Is that you, Hisao? Yeah, I got Hanako to her bed. She's sleeping now. That's good. I have to admit, I hadn't thought she drank quite so much. Hey, it's fine. She's all safe and tucked up in bed now. With the way she is. She awkwardly trails off, though Lily and I would hardly protest. For someone so anxious and fearful, drinking would give an easy out from those constant feelings. Despacito? Yeah, probably. I wish I could do more for her. I feel useless. Looking at Lily, I think back to what I asked myself in town. My relationship with her is that of a friend, and has only ever been felt that way, but now I think I know why. Lily's been there for both Hanako and me since I first met her, but she's like that for everyone, trying to do her best to make them feel better. With that in mind, then, what's the bond between me and Hanako? For rescuing our relationship following the panic attack, I inadvertently triggered during class. I feel like we're back to being friends, but she's on my mind more and more. Can't say I view any other girl in quite the same way, but maybe it's just a normal reaction to someone acting like this. Say, Akira? She yawns before looking at me. It is getting pretty late. You know what happened to Hanako, don't you? Yeah, Lily told me.
I negotiated pretty hard for a break so I could come down and help make her birthday a bit brighter. We get along pretty well.
Surprising to hear that from someone as extroverted as her. If Hanako came to know her through Lily, maybe she had time to get used to Akira.
And on that note, I better get going. I'm already going to be a bit late as it is.
But it's already so late.
Sorry. Got a bunch of work dropped on us, so overtime it is.
She levers herself up with a grunt and heads past me toward the door. Just before she leaves, she turns back toward us.
You haven't forgotten about the time for the flight and all the rest?
Don't worry. I have everything ready. It's just a matter of packing when it gets closer to the time to leave.
Atta girl. I'll see you later then.
With that, she disappears through the door with her hand held high in farewell. Your sister is something alright. I probably should have thought that comment through before saying it. Regardless, Lily seems quite amused at my appraisal. You okay after all that drinking? Not wasted and just hiding it well? I assure you, I am quite alright. I can moderate myself. You seem quite self-possessed as well, if I do say so myself. Yeah, well, I guess your moderation applies to me as well. With a little hesitation, I take a seat at the table in front of Lily. I want to address this directly, if for no other reason than to settle my own thoughts. I didn't mean to ask this, but it took me a while to make up my mind. Do you have any idea about what triggered that panic attack? I gather it was something to do with her birthday, but I don't know anything more. Akira was being really careful around her, so I assume she knows well. Lily's smile drops, the gaiety of her birthday party now well and truly over. To be honest, I'm not sure of all the details myself. Hanako told you that she was in a house fire. She told me as much after we met and spent a little time together. Other than that, she quite simply never told me. She never told you. Assuming the worst, what does she have to look back upon? A life of isolation, possibly even the death of her family, maybe going as far as blaming her existence for their deaths. Even think about what little I know of Hanako's past is bleak. To have lived through all that and to live on with those memories must be infinitely worse. Lily looks similarly depressed, but I can see her rebuild at least some of her composure before my eyes. I get the feeling that both of us are talking more frankly than we might otherwise do, thanks to the wine. But it feels like just talking this out is a good thing in a way. I feel kind of helpless about it when it's put like that. What can I possibly do for her? I'm not wholly sure I should tell you this, but Hanako told me that you visited her the day after we both went to check on her. I must admit that I did not predict she would take such a step so quickly after what happened, nor did I expect you to. I think it was a nice gesture on your part. Wasn't much, really. Just, at times like this, sometimes think it would be better if we never had to leave Yamaku. At least this town. It was just so much easier without others around. I didn't expect Lily to look quite so troubled at what I say. For a while she looks lost in thought. She moves to speak but stops herself as soon as she does and rethinks. It's a bit off-putting. I think. Tell me, do you have anything planned for Friday evening? Friday evening? No. Isn't your flight to Scotland the next day? I don't think it would be a good idea to tire yourself out before you even get there. It'll be all right. You needn't worry about me. I'll do this tomorrow evening, but I imagine Hanako will be feeling rather off for a while. Thought of how she's going to be tomorrow makes me grimace. Maybe we should count our blessings that she didn't end up simply throwing up from drinking so much while having such a low tolerance. Well, I'm going to be able to attend whatever you are planning. What is it? Nothing unusual, I assure you. Just a little excursion. And you better be off, Hisao. I can't imagine it's long at all until curfew is here. Oh damn, curfew, I'd completely forgotten. Look at the clock next to Lily's bed, but it seems to be some oddity without written numerals, which I suppose makes sense given Lily's condition. Not wanting to risk a haughty security patrol giving me a scolding, I get up and decide to go to my dorm as she says. Well then, guess I'll see you in Hanako tomorrow, assuming the both of you manage to get up in the morning. Akira doesn't have a route? It's okay, Tom. I thought I was Akira. Why would I want my own route? Thank you for your concern, Isao. Until then. With that, I make my way out of the door into the hallway. Hope our idea will be a good one. Yeah. We're only 2 hours and 20 minutes in. The hammering of a fist against the door feels like a nail being pounded into my head. I'm gonna assume that I have like what, about like at least an hour plus left, Tom, right? No one can have anime. Forever alone. What? Wait, what? I think it's gonna be a good place to call it. I know I thought I was gonna end the Hanako route, but if I have another hour and a half ish to go, even like that's a lot, and my voice has been like dying. I'm like saving off a cold willpower. Plus, I have to upload the Katawa Shoujo episode from 2 weeks ago on YouTube. 2+ hours left? Oh, screw it then. No way. No way. We're saving here. We're going to save here. Something tells me we're going to have some Kenji next episode. So we're going to save it here. We'll call it for now. But this has been Anime Fan Arcade 2K. With Visual Thursdays, Katawa Shoujo will continue next week. Next week, I promise you, we will finish the Hanako route through hell or high water, whatever that means. But for now, I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and we'll do this again. Peace. See ya. Berries.